Hi there, welcome to your practice. We're going to start this one lying down on a bolster. So if you don't have a bolster, you might use like a rolled up beach towel that can have a nice kind of similar consistency. And just have your blanket nearby because we'll use that in a little bit, but maybe not right this moment. So we're going to start just an inch or two in front of the bolster. Legs can be extended. You might like to bend your knees and bring your feet to the mat as you come back. We're just going to start to lay down onto the bolster. So with knees bent, feet on the mat, you can press through the feet and make any adjustments you need, particularly if your low back feels uncomfortable. You might want to scoot down in the direction of your feet. And then check in with your head. If it feels like your forehead is tilting back at all, then it's nice to go ahead and get that blanket, bring it under the head so that the forehead can be either neutral or with a more of a tilt towards the nose. And we're going to hold here in this chest opening position. A place where many of us tend to get tight, especially after a lot of time on the computer or at a desk, in a car. And this practice is really a reset. And so I invite you to find whatever is most supportive for your rest. So you could step the feet wider, let the knees drop in. You could bring soles of the feet together, let the knees drop out, or extend the legs. What you want is to feel fully supported, no strain. This restorative yoga is very much a being practice, not a doing practice. We're letting ourselves receive support, which can be hard to do during everyday life. So this is a great place to practice. When your attention wanders, as it naturally does for each of us, you can bring your attention back, maybe to the breath, maybe to sensation, like where you feel your back in contact with the bolster. Let's take 3 more breaths here at your own pace. When you're complete with that, if they're not already, you can bend the knees, place the feet on the mat. Move your blanket, if you had added it to the bolster. We're just going to roll off a little bit to one side until you can get a hold of your bolster and move it. Now, we're going to come back around with the blanket under the head. Now have your bolster still close enough to grab it. You might want it in a moment. We're going to do a recline twist. When you're ready, we're going to press through the feet, scoot the hips an inch or two to the right. And then you have a couple options. You can let the knees drop over from here, or you might like to hug the knees in first and then let them come over. If the top knee feels unsupported or the bottom, you could support with a bolster. Adjusting the position of your arms so that they feel comfortable. I noticed a little strain in my right shoulder, so I just moved my right hand a little bit closer to my body. And again, there's nothing to do. This is your time for receiving what you most need. Let's take 3 breaths here. And after your third exhale, you can slowly make your way back to center, pressing through the feet, moving the hips back to center. Now when you're ready, we'll press through the feet again, scoot the hips left. The knees rock over from here, or draw them in first and then let them come over. Add whatever support would be helpful. Bolster. Sometimes the support that's helpful is adjusting your position. Somewhere other than where you think you quote unquote should be. 3 more breaths. For your third exhale, and slowly come back to center. Once you're there, pressing the feet down to move the hips back to center. And let's pause here. Now we're going to come into our final relaxation. One option is to extend the legs, maybe with the bolster under the knees. Another option, the one that I'm going to show, is to do Shavasana or final relaxation on your side. So I like to have my bolster for this. You lay on one side. You can bring your arm and or your blanket under your head. And you can let one arm rest on the bolster in any position. So I have mine up on the long edge. You could have it flat. You could not use the bolster. If you try the side lying and it's not for you, you can come to lying on the back. Again, maybe with the bolster under the knees. And again, letting yourself rest. Let's take 5 more breaths here. After your 5th exhale, take a moment to notice how you feel. You might like to begin to wiggle fingers and toes. If you've been lying on your back, you can go ahead and come to your side. If you are on your side, you can stay there. And then when you're ready, we'll slowly come on up to seated, keeping the chin lightly tucked until you come up, then untucking the chin. If you'd like, you can join me in folding your hands together in front of your heart and take them up to the forehead. May I think of myself with kindness. To the eyes, may I see myself with compassion. To the mouth, may I speak to myself with love. And to the heart, to seal it in, we'll inhale and exhale. Thank you for practicing with me.